Okay, welcome to day 8. So today we're going to look at lists again, lists and loops together. Then we also look at another data structure called a tuple. Okay, so I'll go ahead and create a day8.py. Right. So today we are going to combine lists and loops. This is powerful because lists store many values and loops help us process those values one by one. Right. So for example, we have our list called marks with 80, 70, 60 and 35. Then for mark in marks, print mark. Right. So we all still remember what this is going to print and how it's going to print it, right? Okay. So let me repeat. Do you all still remember how this works and what is going to print and how it's going to print it, right?
Yes, yes.
So okay. So the loop goes through each mark in the list one by one.
That's
Okay,
true.
that's true. So you don't have any issues with how loops work and how they work with the list, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so we're going to have our total, which is marks. Then we have our average, which is going to be total then max. Okay, great. We haven't talked about some max and mean, right? So
Yes.
these are some of the list methods that we have with Python, right? Anyone wants to take a guess on what sum, max, and mean do? Yes, Mr. Lopangwa.
Yes, good evening, sir. I think the sum who add all the integers within the variable marks. And then you said sum in what?
Max and mean.
some will add all the integer values within the variable marks, and then the mean will add all the integers in the variable marks and then divide them by the number of integers inside the variable, which is 4.
Okay, so what this do is that sum, it adds all the numbers, right, and then marks, it finds the highest number, and then mean, it finds the lowest number. So when you're working with a list, and you know that you're working with the numbers, so you can use a sum to add every number that's inside that list. You can use max if you want to get the highest number in that list, and you can use mean to get the lowest number. So to use them, to use mean is you just call out mean and your brackets, and inside those brackets, that's when you now enter the name of your list. With max, it's still the same thing. You just say max, and then your brackets, and then you enter the name of your list, the variable name of your list. With sum, it's still the same. Okay, so if I run these 4 print statements, what's going to be printed besides our average? So for total, okay, let's just say highest and lowest. What's going to be printed? Yes, Alan.
Highest, it prints 80.
And lowest?
Lowest, it prints 35.
That's correct. I'm now running the code. Exactly. See, total, it added everything. It added all these numbers together, and then average, it took the total and then divided it by by how many values we have inside that list. That's where the len function comes in to get the numbers to get the numbers of the values that are inside the list. Then max, it printed 80 because 80 is the highest number, and then mean, it printed 35 because 35 is the lowest number. Okay, so any questions with sum, max, and mean? Any questions? Okay, so I'll take that as no questions, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, so let me comment this out. Okay. Right. So we're going to have pass count equals 0. Fail count equals 0. Let me add more, 25. Wow, 49. Okay, if I want if I want to loop over this list, how do I do it? Who wants to tell us how we can loop over the list? Anyone? Oh yes, Mr. Lupangwa.
So question, are we going to use if statements?
No. Right now, I want someone to tell me how we're going to loop over this list.
Okay.
We're using a for loop.
Oh, for okay. Mm, okay. Say, Mr. Alan. Yeah, I think Alan wants to say something.
Okay, yes, Alan.
I think ndivatoshandisa o
Okay, for
variable
yeah. What's the name of our variable?
mark
Okay, mark.
in marks.
Okay, that's correct. So that's correct.
Nice.
Okay. So then we're going to have an if statement if mark is greater than or equal to 50. Oh, wait. Okay, pass count equals to pass count plus 1. Right. Else fill count equals to fill count plus 1. Right. So anyone wants to take a guess on what this code does? We're going to work with this list marks. So what's going to happen if I run this code?
Let me try.
Yes.
For mark in marks, if mark is equal to greater than or equal to 50, pass count plus 1. I think it will print boolean.
No, that's not correct. Yes, Mr. Lupangwa.
Right, sir. I think that already we have the pass count variable being equal to 0 and the fill count variable being equal to 0. And from yesterday's lesson, I learned that the for loop accesses everything inside our list. So in this case, our list is the marks variable. So I think that the for loop would then go inside the list, which is marks, and it will access the values. And if mark is greater than or equal to 50, the loop will then establish that the pass count variable should increase from 0 to plus 1. And then if it's a pass, it will then continue to loop until it accesses everything. So it depends if the integer read is a pass, and then if it's a pass, there's going to be an increment of that former variable. Let's say it was now 1, it will become 2, and then if it's else, it will also count the fail count variable. It will increment from 0 to 1, and I think the loop will end when everything has been accessed.
Okay. So however our list, it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it has 6 values. So if we run the code, pass count is going to be equals to what? And then fail count is going to be equals to what?
0, 0.
No. I mean, if we like you said, it's going to increment pass count and fail count depending on the score, right?
Yes, sir.
So at the end, these two print statements, they're going to print the new pass count since they're going to be incremented. So what's
Yes,
going
sir.
to be the new values?
Oh, I think it's going to be 3 sir.
3 3. Okay, good. Okay, fine. We're going to find out when we run the code. Okay. Yes, Mr. Changa.
Yeah. I just want to make a guess. We are discussing. We are talking about the code from line 18 to line 20. From line 18, is it?
No, line 15.
From line 15, yes. You declared pass count is equal to 0, fail count is equal to 0. So for marks in marks, if mark is greater than, okay, I think the code is going to print it's going to print 50, 51, 52 up to 80. I don't know.
No, you're wrong because
Okay.
we didn't print this temporary variable. This temporary variable is the one that has access to 50, 80, all those marks. But since we're not printing this temporary variable, then we're not going to see the marks. What we're going to see is the total pass count and the total fail count. Okay. All right. So okay. So I want someone, okay, one of you guys to take a guess. Okay, well, it's not a guess as such since we've talked about this before. How are we going to change pass count into an F string? Okay, who wants to change our pass count into an F string?
Change pass count
Yes, into an F string.
in the F string tichibatanidza nechizvi
Just pass count, to print pass count as an F string. So this is the string that I wanted to be printed. Pass count. Let's just say the pass count is equals to 10. So I wanted to print something like this. How are we going to do that?
to use F string
F
brackets.
no, no, we're already inside the brackets.
No, already inside the brackets.
Yes.
Inverted comma.
No.
Ah.
Remember, it's an F string. The keyword is string.
Yes, sir. So the inverted, the colon, the inverted. There's some double quotation.
Yes, the double quotations.
Yes, yes.
Then
we name the variable.
it's supposed to print a pass count and the value of pass count.
Okay. String. Oh, I'll print a pass count.
So what we're going inside the F string, we're going to say pass count, right? Now, how do we print a pass count?
You code the variable.
I copy the variable into this print statement, right?
Yes, sir.
But how do I do it? If I do it like this,
No.
it's wrong, right? So how am I
Yes,
supposed to do it? What's missing?
This is not brackets. Brackets.
Which one?
Open bracket.
Wait, which bracket?
Macaulay braces.
That's correct. So okay, so I'm now running the code. Right. Pass count is equals to 3 and fail count is equals to 3. So Mr. Lupangwa, you are correct.
Thank you, sir.
So what happened is that for marking marks, it looped over all of these marks. Then it got the mark, then it checked, is the mark greater than or equals to 50? If it is, it incremented pass count. If it wasn't, it incremented fail count. After that, then the loop ran again over and over until it finished all of these values. Okay. So any questions with working with this loop with these list methods and working with list and loops together?
I'm gonna go to code the next game and be child. Shall go home
Okay. So so some marks, what this does, it adds all the numbers inside the list, right? And then yes, Mr. Achanga.
Sorry, before you go ahead, I just wanted to. You said lists, loops, and what? What is
And
the other term?
tuples.
What is that?
No, I haven't talked about this yet.
Okay, it's okay. So on line 3 we declared our list, and then yeah, you can go ahead. You can go ahead. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Lupangwa.
I say it was a mistake. It's okay.
Oh, okay. So some open bracket and then the name of our list. This just adds all the numbers inside the list. It just adds them all together. And then marks, open bracket, marks. This just finds the highest number in our list. And then min, marks, it just finds the lowest number inside our list. Right. Any problems with these list methods?
Yeah, on list, no.
Okay. So for this is a for loop. Remember that to
Sorry, Mr. Kumar.
yes.
So these are called list methods. Those from line 5 to line 8, they are called list methods. They are not functions.
No, these are list methods.
It's okay, thank you.
Okay. So here we have the variable pass count equals 0, fail count equals 0. Then we have for marking marks. So this is just looping into this list, right? So when it loops, it gets the first value and assigns it to this temporary variable. Then we take this temporary variable and check if it is greater than or equals to 50. If it is, then we add it to pass count. We increase pass count by 1. We increase its score by 1. But if the mark is less than 50, we then increase fail count by 1, because it's going to check if mark is greater than or equals to 50. No, it's not greater than or equals to 50. So this statement is not going to run. We're going to run the else statement. So it's going to be fail count equals to fail count plus equals 1. So we're now incrementing the score of fail count by 1. Right? Do we get it?
Now I get it. Yes. I don't know about the others, but now it's very clear. I understand. It's a bit different from last night's lecture. We had declared our pass count. We had declared like the while loop. When you gave us an example of the while loop, you gave us from 0 to 5. It was adding 1. from 0 to 5. But this is now just what? This is now just picking. This is now just checking if mark is greater or equal to 50. Then
Right.
it's considered that as a pass count. Then it counts 1. Then it
Exactly.
checks again. Then it counts 2. So since pass marks are 3 in that set of marks, it is going to count to 3 for the pass count. Is it?
That's correct.
Okay.
So there's also another shorter way of writing this. Here we have pass count equals to pass count plus 1. We can do this. We can say pass count equals to plus equals to 1. It's still the same way as this, but shorter.
Pass count and field count are variables or
Yes, there are variables. Remember, we declared them here in line 15 and line 16.
or they are not functions.
No, these two are variables.
Okay.
So if you see something like this with a bracket, this is a function. So all these is they are methods, but they are also functions. Right? Once you say something that has these round brackets, know that it's a function. But pass count and fill count, they're just variables. They're just variables. They don't have these round brackets. Okay. So any questions so far?
Before we proceed, mukumbiro kana mu-add pamamarks edu apo palist redu apo
Yes.
muaddire kana palist redu apo ndokumbira muaddire kana 10 mubva mapinda ndaona kuti pano mavalue edu anochinja.
Okay. See, it changed. Fill count is now 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you see that is still pass count is still 3? Even if I remove the pass count equals to pass count plus 1, I just called it pass count plus equals to 1.
What about we mix like apa? It's like zvine order zvinazvo kuti tikambomixa tikati iri above 50
Oh,
toisa
okay.
iri
Okay, 80, 25, 67, 100, 49. Okay, 30. Okay, 30. Still the same result. It doesn't matter if they're in order or they're not in order.
thank you.
Okay, here's Mr. Changa.
Yeah. This is no longer kids' game, to be honest. But I just have another question. Okay. So, can you confirm from line 18, for example,
Yes.
to line 25, you combined both the for loop and the while loop, is it?
No, there's no while loop here. It's just a for loop.
Okay.
Once you see while, then you know that it's now a while loop. But as long as there's no while, then there's no while loop. If you see for, then you just know that you're now working with a for loop.
Okay. Yeah.
So the best way for you to be able to understand this is by playing around with the code. Play around with for loops. You are going to understand how they work. Just take when I send the code in the group, just take that code, edit it, and play around with it. Just experiment with the code. Okay. So, any questions before we proceed? Okay, so I'll take that as no questions. Okay, so let me comment this out. Now let's look at tuples. Right. Okay, a tuple. So this is another data structure in Python, just like a list. So far we only talked about one data structure, which is a list. So let's talk about the second one, which is called a tuple. So let's say we have student equals to, let's say, Brandon 22 computer science. Print student. Okay, so a tuple can store different types of data. It doesn't matter whether it's a string, it's an integer, it's a float, it's a boolean. It doesn't matter. It can store different types of data. As you can see, here we have a name and the age and the course inside one tuple. Right. So to create a tuple, you create the name, the variable name, same as the equal sign, but we now use round brackets. It's different from a list whereby we use the square brackets. With a tuple, we use round brackets. Right. See, I ran the code and printed, and this print statement ran. See, it printed the tuple as it is, Brandon 22 computer science. So a tuple can store different types of data. Right. Any questions so far? So no questions.
Yes.
Okay. So unlike a list, tuples have fewer methods because tuples cannot be changed. Right. So a list is mutable. A tuple is not mutable. Right. So okay, what this means that a list you can change it, but a tuple you can't change it. Right. Remember with a list we had methods like .append, whereby you can change a value inside the list by indexing it, right? We still remember that, right?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yes.
sir.
But
Append,
yes.
move.
But with
Yes.
the tuple, you can't do that. You can change a tuple. Once you declare tuple, it is final. If you want to change it, then you have to look for where you created your tuple. Then then add the new values manually. You don't have those methods like .append. They're not there with tuples, right? So a tuple has two common methods, which is count and index, right? So let's say we have numbers equals to 1 2 3 4 5. Yes, Mr. Lopangwa.
Sorry, sir. I missed the part where you mentioned the count and index. What does that mean? count. You said count, yeah.
Oh,
Count. 136.
a tuple has two common methods that are count and index.
Oh,
So these are the two common methods with tuples.
okay,
Okay.
yes, sir.
So we have print numbers dot count, say 3. All right. Okay. So when you see the count method, yeah, I'm sure you guys you think that is going to count as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Am I wrong?
True, sir.
True.
No, sir, you are right.
But that's not what the dot count function does. It tells us how many times a value appears in a tuple. So here are numbers, the name of the tuple dot count. It has a bracket, and then inside the bracket, then you add the value that you want to check. In this case, you want to check 3. Okay, so let me run the code. It printed 1 because we only have 3
1,
only
3.
appears once exactly. We only have 1 3. So the dot count method tells us how many times a value appears in a tuple. Okay. Any questions? Yes, Mr. Lupangwa.
Sir, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember the index when we were working with like index in list, I think it had square brackets. Is
Yeah.
that true?
Yes, that's true.
So is there a difference now?
This is different from indexing. Here we're not indexing anything. Here we're just getting how many times a value appears in the tuple. We're not
So
accessing. Okay, let me change this. Let me add another 3, another 3, another 3. Let me run the code again.
yes, sir.
It's now printed 4 because 3 appears 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay, sir. Yeah, it's because I'd seen like in line 36, I saw you wrote count and then you put index.
Oh, okay. Okay. I haven't talked about index.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
okay. No, that's
So,
fine.
do you all understand how the dot count method works? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So,
Personally, yes.
okay. So, I'm going to work with the numbers again. So, let's say, or let me create another tuple. Number equals to 20, 40, 60, 80, 100, 120. Okay. So print number dot index 60. All right. Okay. So just like any other index, just like any other the indexing methods that we have talked about, this just gives us the position of the value in a tuple. The difference is that on this dot index method, we use round brackets. We don't use square brackets.
Yes.
Yes. So we have dot index, round brackets are the number of the value that you want to check inside the tuple. Right. So if I run this print statement, what's going to be printed? Index 60 is the value 60 is at index number what? Yes, Mr. Lupangwa.
Yes, I'd like to say index number 2.
So
Index number 2.
0, 1, 2. Okay. Do we all agree with Mr. Lupangwa? Okay, I'll take that as a yes. That's correct.
Thank you, sir.
So it's
Thank you.
still 0, 1, 2. Okay. So do you all understand how indexing works with a tuple? Any questions? Okay, I'll take that as no one has questions. Okay.
No question. No question.
So this is not a data type that you're going to see on a daily basis, but it's good to know it just in case you come across it.
Sorry, sir. Which one's the data type you're referring to?
The tuple.
Okay.
It's not a data type that you're going to come across every day, but it's just good to know it just in case you come across it or just in case you might need it.
True, sir. Thank
So,
you.
but most of the times you're going to work with lists and a dictionary when working with Python data structures. It's most of the time, 90% of the time, it's a list and a dictionary. Okay. So,
Oh my gosh.
okay, just like with a list, you can also loop over a tuple. So we have our tuple number, right? You just say for, okay, let's look at the number. Okay, number for n in number, print number. Okay, I'm now running the code. Oh, printed the wrong thing. Print n. Yes, we can also loop over a tuple. The same way you loop over a list is the same way you're going to loop over a tuple. Right. Any questions with looping over a tuple?
Sir, please repeat. I think I lost connection briefly.
Okay, if you want to loop over a tuple, it's still the same for loop, the same one as the one that we use in list. It's still for your temporary variable, the in keyword, and then the name of your tuple. Then you just print it or do whatever you want to do with the temporary variable.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you.
Okay. So, any questions with looping over a tuple? Okay, I'll take that as an no. Okay. Let's say we have another tuple. Fruits equals, we have an apple. Banana, orange. So remember that whether it's list, it's a set, it's a dictionary or whatever, the values are always separated by a comma. The comma is very important. Alright, so yes, Mr. Changa.
Okay, so in a nutshell, what we are trying to say is, what mainly differentiate a tuple is a tuple,
Yes,
and
yes.
and the list are the brackets that you are going to append at the beginning and at the end of.
It's not just the brackets only. A tuple is not mutable, and the list is mutable.
Okay.
So a tuple is not flexible to work with. It limits you. But a list, it doesn't limit you. You can do whatever you want with it.
Okay, my question is maybe for the last tuple that you declared at line 48. That is the tuple, is it?
Yes, that's correct.
What makes it a tuple? Because I think if
Oh,
maybe
okay,
maybe
okay,
I'm
okay.
wrong.
Oh, yeah. What makes it a tuple is the brackets.
Exactly. It can, if you change the brackets, it becomes a list, is it?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, I now I'm answered.
No, oh, okay, great. So if orange in fruits okay, if I run this print statement, will it okay, yeah, there's no else statement, so it's going to run. So if orange in fruits print yes, it's in the tuple. So what this does, we're just checking if an item exists inside that tuple. All right. To if just in case it doesn't exist, then you can add your else statement. Right. So if you want to check if an item exists in the tuple, you just use an if statement. If, and then the item that you want to check in the name of your tuple. If it is there, do this. If it is not there, then do this. Okay. So we can use the in keyword. This is the in keyword to check if a value exists inside a tuple. All right. Any questions?
Question is,
Yes.
this in, is this the same in we were using for the for loops?
Yes, it's the same.
Oh, can we just compare and contrast? Like, can you just write the for in statement like in line 53 so that I try to make logic out of it? Like line 53, can you create like a new line and then just say for in so that I can make
For
syntax?
for in fruits.
Okay.
Oh no, well, for I in fruits.
For adding fruits. Okay.
So it's still
O-
the same. It's in.
Okay. So the if orange in fruits, is that a conditional?
Yes, it is. So
Okay.
it checks if orange is in fruits. Before we worked with what are variables instead of the string direct. Here we're just working with a string instead of a variable.
Beautiful. So is that only the exception for? Is that only exceptional for
This
for
one?
for tuples? Yeah, using a string. Is that only used
No,
like in
no,
tuples
everywhere.
or everywhere it's
Yes.
possible?
Yes, whenever you're working with an if statement, you can use a variable or you can use a string, an integer, or whatever. Okay, you now get it.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Right. Let me comment this out. Alright. So say print len fruits. Okay, this print statement, what's going to be printed? If I run it, what's going to be printed? Yes, Mr. Changa.
I think it's going to print 3.
3. Okay. Let's find out and see. Exactly, printed 3. So you can also use the len statement in tuples, the same way you use it in lists, or the same way you use it in a string, in a variable, or whatever. It's still the same way. It doesn't change. Right. So today we learned about tuples. So a tuple stores multiple values. Tuples use round brackets. Tuples cannot be changed. We can access tuple items using indexes. The two common tuple methods are count and index. We can also use loops. We can also use loops, the inner keyword, and learn with tuples. Right. And we also learned about the sum, max, and min methods when it comes to lists. Right. So, any questions on what we learned today? Any questions? Yes, Mr. Janga.
It's not related to what we learned today, but yeah, I think as programmers, we don't have to learn to write code from our heads or to cram every line, but we need to understand how each piece of code works. Is it as you try to come up with a system?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay.
That's why before you can build any system, where they are going to use AI to build that system, you need to first understand the core logic of how that particular programming languages work. You need to know the fundamentals. So even if you use AI to build your system, as long as you know the fundamentals, then you are able to debug or troubleshoot your program.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Any questions? Okay. So this is the end of our lesson. So tomorrow we're going to look at two more Python data structures, the last data structures. The first one is going to be a set, and the second one is going to be a dictionary. So a dictionary is also a must know and must understand data structure. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
So that is it for today. See you guys tomorrow 8 p.m.